Hey, that right there is slapping. Okay. Without further ado, do it yourself. Don't wait for nobody else. What you could do for yourself. Hold on. I forgot the glasses. I gotta be able to see clearly. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for tuning in to the All on a Business AOB TV. Hit that like and subscribe button. If you haven't already, share this on your profile because it's live. Now, what we talking about is public money. All right. And I want y'all to understand what public money is. And I want you to understand that your money in your pocket is public money. It's not, you could use it for your private debts, but it's definitely a public thing. The government owns your money. The government owns all kinds of things, and anything that the government owns is actually considered worth value. It's actually public money. Or if it's property with ownership, the title is collateral. But today, what we're going to talk about is security. And I have questions. I research and I have questions. I'm not the answer man, I'm the question man. Now, I think it was yesterday we covered the oaths of office being case numbers. When you go to the county court and purchase your local sheriff's oath of office, it's going to come with a number on the paper. And if you request a certified copy, which is not only recommended, it's actually mandatory because you need a record of purchase and you're going to get a receipt stapled on the front of that when you get it certified. So you go get you a certified copy of that oath of office, and that number on the top is a case number, and you're going to learn that when you buy it from the court, because when you buy it from the court, they give you a receipt, and the receipt has all the information, the legal information in regards to the purchase that you made, because you have accepted this oath of office for value in exchange for your money that you paid for it. So now that you have this oath of office, it's yours. And it's actually a case number where the people are versus the actual officer, for the officer to execute, their or discharge their duties. Discharge means withdraw. So they deposit the oath, and then they put their oath on a bond so that they could be released to discharge, which means to be discharged for their duties. Now, what we have here is public money in our hand. This is a return receipt. Now, you may not be familiar with this information, but this is public money. Now, we're going to go to this little tab right here that I prepared for us. Public money. Okay, whoever embezzles, steals, purloins, or knowingly converts to his or the use of another, or without authority sells, conveys, or disposes of any record, voucher, money, or thing of value of the United States, or of any department or agency thereof, or any property made or being made under contract for the United States, or any department or agency thereof, whoever receives, conceals, or retains the same with intent to convert it to his use or gain, knowing it to have been embezzled, stolen, purloined, or converted, shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 10 years, or both. But if the value of such property in the aggregate, combining amounts from all courts for which the defendant is convicted in a single case, does not exceed the sum of $1,000, he shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 1 year, or both. The word value means face, par, or market value, or cost price, either wholesale or retail, whichever is greater. Now, when you go to put some mail in the mailbox, there's many different special treatments you could put on your mail. And if you look these up in the USPS system, you're gonna find that, registered mail is registered the whole way through, from beginning to end, it's stamped. And the registered mail actually has two slips. One slip is carbon copy, the other slip is not. So when you write on the front, it copies on the back. Well, that back copy of that registered mail receipt is the receipt that is getting stamped every stop of the package, because that slip is supposed to stay with that package to ensure its delivery and to track its every step, register its every step. Now, you could write a neat little list on the back of that. Shout out to that lady that laced me with the game. I don't know who you are, but I heard your audio, and I learned, what a special deposit is, and you can actually, fill these out correctly, right? And it's going to ask you how you want to deliver your registered mail. You want to deliver it restricted delivery to the particular officer at their main office or registered office address. And where on this registered mail slip, where it says on D right there, I ask you if you want to. It says, is delivery address different from item 1? Yes. If yes, enter delivery address. Now, what is an address? An address is a destination. Now, you want the article to be addressed to this individual, but you want this item itself to be special deposit. And if that officer is wise, he'll go and make it a special deposit because he's an officer of the bank. And this special deposit comes with a request to the benefit of a beneficiary. It's filed on the day you pay for it. You tender your payment to a United States department, the USPS, executive branch. You pay them. In exchange for your money, they give you public money. They give you this, right? You pay for this, you pay for the slip, they mail it, this comes back as proof it got delivered. Now, this is yours, but it's not yours. It's owned by the government. This is theirs, and they issued this for your money. So now you could take this and deposit this back as a security. Because this is an obligation. This is an obligation. And then your property is the mail that you sent. So when you send mail to somebody, it's your mail. It's not their mail. Whatever you deposit is yours. So you can ask for your security deposit back. Now, how do we do that? It's yours. Okay, so this is my theory. In theory, you mail them something lawful, of course. A request, a demand. Lawful demand. They receive it. It's special deposit. You get it back. You got the other receipt, the registered mail receipt. Now if I'm let's make it clear. Maybe the registered mail slip is the security, and this No, it's all public. Exactly. So because you can only bond your own a collateral that you own. But let me think though. The question is, do you own these once you buy them? You don't own them, but do you have rights to them? You got rights to them. So in theory, you take these and you put them as security on the oath of office case. You get these and you put these as a security deposit on the oath of office case because the oath of office case says people of this state versus the public officer. Because the public officer is in debt to the people of the state to support the Constitution. And anytime they don't, their bond can be remanded. And the people have the power to remand the bond of an officer. Or is it that the people have the ability to bond the officer? They have the oath. The oath is yours. Now listen, when they make the oath, I figured it out. The oath is yours. You could buy it, accept it for value, which means you're the beneficiary of the oath. And you could use that as collateral. Collateral meaning as a bond. To where you establish a security obligation and then you put a collateral on it, meaning if the obligation isn't met, the money will be taken out of the collateral. Mm. Very clever. And that sounds like it's the way the framers made it. To where there's nothing a public officer can do when he's in the wrong. It could get reviewed. But if a civilian does something like take securities out of the public trust fraudulently, then he should suffer consequences. But if you do it lawfully, but the question is, what's the lawful way? So that's how we're going to lay it down. How do we, without getting life insurance, because some people think if you get life insurance, they won't, I guess they won't kill you, but they'll still take you to jail. Okay, so how do we solve that one? Mass incarceration. How do we solve, 95% of the population in prison is there because they took a plea bargain. Either they committed crimes or they were bribed and put in a tight corner and faced with some detrimental consequences. You know what I'm saying? To where, these petrified people, these people are scared. The government is gonna make sure that they put that fear in you. And if you out there really committing crimes, then it is what it is. But if you is just a man feeding his family, man, and you getting hit with kangaroo charges against the Constitution of your state and against the United States of America, then we should have a say in that. And I was taught to respect the government, but that doesn't mean lay down. See, it's get down or lay down. We're gonna get down, and that's the respect I'm gonna give you. But it's not necessarily a fight. It's an integration without integrating. I don't want to be in your arena, but do I need to be? Similar to what the Jews is doing. Like, what do Jewish people do special? Besides control the money, like, the elite people that you could read about in history books, not on the stereotypical thing, with the people that, came up on a lot of assets from wars. It is what it is. Now, we know the money make the world go round, but the money don't matter to them. All the money in the world is not going to prevent them from doing certain things to each other. You feel what I'm saying? Because it's about the power. You can have all the money. The money don't make the power. That's not how this world goes. The money used to be about gold. Gold used to be about power. And that's because all the best electronic stuff is wired with gold wiring, just to let you know. This is why, and this is one of the reasons why, let me say, one of the reasons why gold is so valuable to the governments is because it can be used to and it's non-corrosive, so you could put it inside of anything. You know, when you go to these music studios, the top-notch boards, SSLs, Neves, they all wired with gold wiring, you know, on the inside. When you go get you a new microphone and your Guitar Center cables, and they give you options. You want copper, silver, or you want gold, because gold is going to be the best. It's going to last forever. It's the best value as far as the conductor of electricity. You know, the best airplanes, the best tools, everything's going to be wired with gold. The best, not the best at the Home Depot. I'm talking about the best that money can offer. These types of things going to have gold on the inside. So, you know, the technology race has a lot to do with gold. Technology itself is powered by gold. You know, it's the best conductor of the known, I guess what they would say, known to man. I mean, there's better, let's say there's better conductors of electricity, but as far as non-corrosive and efficient, that's one of the best things about the gold. And but not to derail the topic, we on topic, but this is public money. That's what I'm realizing. I'm looking at it. It says United States on it. United States Postal Service. Okay. I paid for it. Okay, so it has value. Okay. So if I send this value in and I say, listen, this value is for the benefit of another person and it hasn't been acknowledged or paid, I'm entitled to get paid off this right here. It's a mind-wrecking language. Boy, mind-wrecking. But we got to speak it. We got to speak it. This shit worth money. And I'm not trying to do nothing scandalous with it. I'm trying to get my money back. That's owed to me. I sent something. All right, you ain't going to respect it. Give me my money back. But I don't want the money back. I want the performance of what I asked for, and it's a way. Man, I'm telling you, man, it's got to be against that oath of office case number. It's got to be. I looked it up. They called it a placeholder case. You know, when you go to jail and you got to get put on, because basically when they get elected, they technically, it's like going to jail. So the officer, they get elected. The official, the elected official, they get elected. They bid on it. They get elected. And it's almost like a punishment. They're like, okay, well, in order to get this job, you need to take an oath of office and swear that you'll uphold these rights of these people. And you need to get a bond on that. In case you mess up, there's a secondary obligor that'll pay secondary. But you need to go get that from them before you could work. So what they do is they start a case against this person. They say, listen, the people versus this state versus this officer, you know, and then this officer has to go get a bond. Got to bail out. They set a bond for him. They say, listen, this is how much the bond is for this position. Now they have to go get a bond. Once they get that bond, they take it to the court and they can go to work. They can discharge. Just like when you go to jail and they say, this is how much your bond is, and now you're discharged. But your agreement is to come to court. Their agreement is to uphold the laws. That's the only difference. It's still a court case. But when they violate that obligation, which is to support the Constitution, if they violate the obligation, then you're entitled to enforce the obligation. You're entitled to enforce the obligation. And then, oh, I got it. This is the collateral. If I'm not mistaken, this is the collateral. You the owner of this. You the owner of this. This the collateral. But it got two names on it. This is where it's like, okay, maybe that don't matter. Maybe that don't matter. Collateral. Value is collateral. You say you accept something for value as collateral. Is this what I accepted for value as collateral? Let's think about this. Okay. So they accept my money for value. I accept this for value. Once you pay for it, it's accepted for value. I don't know. I got to do some thinking over on it, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? I need the viewer's choice. I need the viewers to come in and drop some comments. But I know this could be spent. And it's not spent the way we think about spending. This can be deposited and withdrawn. It's money. I paid for it. I could get my money back for it. How? Okay. So let's say the oath of office is the collateral because you the benefit as the people are the beneficial owners of the oath, period. You the benefit of the public trust. You the beneficiary, the people, natural born human beings. You the people. So now once you get this oath, you say this is mine, I accept it. You make a certificate of title. And this is all the theory. You make a certificate of title. You send it to the people that have interest in the title. You tell them I'm accepting this beneficiary title for value. If you have any, just blah, blah, blah. If you got anything to say, it's like a marriage. If you got anything to say now, say it now, hold your peace. Now, when you get these back, when you mail them and you get these back, now you got a certificate of title with this. You get an affidavit of service, you attach it to these. And then you say, okay. Now that you do that, you say, okay, well, I got my affidavit certificate of service. You got the title. Now, a title means you got property, and you can use that as collateral. And now that you got that, you put that as the collateral, and you use this as the security. So you say, listen, I mailed this motherfucker something, and I want my money back for it. Period. Until y'all could determine what's going on. And if I'm determined to be negligent, or if I'm the one that loses, then you can charge me out of the collateral, which is this oath of office. It's a double. Why would they say no? They would say no because they're going to say, okay, no, you haven't submitted the collateral yet. So once they submit the order of your security, whatever collateral you got, you can use. That's the real thing. Security means you sending in public money to the Treasury. Whether it's to the court, to the bank, to the police, you send public money to the Treasury as a security to get deposited into the public register. Once it's deposited into the public register, you have the right to withdraw, right? For the benefit of the beneficiary. You know, you're not going to withdraw. Listen, the representative is going to withdraw it. You represent the person in court. Separate yourself from the public for a second. When you go to court in the public, they using your public entity. And if you try to say some private shit, they going to treat you like a public person anyway. You have to do your private stuff in the private. You have to tell them, this is what you owe me. I just mailed them some stuff the other day, man. I told them they owe me a nice little hefty amount, man. And we're going to see if they give it to me, man, because I'm tired of playing games and I really just want all my freedoms attained. You know, and I'm a example of getting your stuff in order before shit hits the fan. You know, I can show you how to get all your stuff in order, and then when shit hits the fan, you got so much ammo just to drop on them that they gonna drop any case that they got against you. Why wouldn't they? You the beneficiary of their activities, and there's different ways to do it. But I'm starting to realize what it means when I hear these crazy people say, I'm gonna accept your oath of office for value. Because I'm the people, and it's against you, and you owe me. You owe me. I don't owe any. Listen, every officer owes us. And if you know how to tell the government, you the people, it's nothing. Power to all the people, all political power is inherent within the people. And now that's what that means. Every officer is a debtor. We're the creditor. We give them credit with the votes. We give them credit with money. They get paid. Now, that's just like they on bond. If they don't listen to, they on bond to who? The state of Michigan. So if the state of Michigan is the settler to the public trust, but the people, they do it on behalf of the beneficiaries, the people. So the officers are the trustees in between that. So the state is going to hire a trustee for the benefit of the beneficiary. Period, point blank. That's what's going on. So the officer works for you, but they also work for the state. So when they come and arrest you, and you don't know how to express that you're a beneficiary, they're going to execute on you. So when you hear about people saying, I'm going to accept your oath, they're saying, I'm going to accept your trustee status. But how do you do it? You have to learn how to drop the security, man. The security is where it's at. The security is where it's at. Period. And then all you have to do is get your stuff authenticated to make your stuff public money. See, any of your documents that you type up and all that, they private. But as soon as you get them notarized, you've created a public document. You've brought that into the public. Public notary. So what do you do with this public document? You get it certified and authenticated, and you send that in as public money. Why it's not public money? It's going to have that state seal on it, boy. That's what I'm talking about. So we learning how to turn our things into public money and to execute them in the private. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And it's not that your stuff is giving credit to be true. It's just giving credit to be public in all courts of justice and elsewhere. So you just submit that. You get your affidavit of service together. You know, you get your documents together and you send them in against that oath of office. This is in theory. All the public money. This is in theory. I'm damn near thinking you make copies for yourself and just send them everything. This is what I'm finna start doing. You could have the originals. I don't think that's really necessary. But you could send in originals. That's the most efficient thing to do. Always buy 2 copies of everything. Send in the original. I don't know what is going on. Always buy 2 copies. Send in the original. You don't necessarily have to send in the original of the something that the court printed, because it's court record already. It's court record. But when you make a record, you might as well just send it in. But the thing is, no, you can't. Let me backtrack. You can't. But once you make it public, you can send it in. Once you get it public, you make copies of it, and it's a way for you to send it in. We're doing courses on that though, and we're gonna do that. We're gonna save that for more. I need more episode time. I can't give it to you all at once. Just know that when you go mail something, so all my people that do your mailing, make sure you mail a restricted delivery, return receipt, and FYI, you could get electronic return receipt and the green card if you're trying to boss out like that. But just get the return receipt. And really, you can avoid, listen, just sign in red. Write in red, sign in red. Avoid thumbprints. Avoid fingerprints. Write in red, sign in red. Or print in red, sign in blue. Either way it goes. But make your special deposits. And get your money, y'all. You know, and even the playing field. You know, I don't care who you send money. Listen, I don't care who you mail something to. This shit public money. So this is worth something. This, this says something. You just gotta know how to execute it. When it's private versus private, it's different. Because you got to bring it into the public. But every public officer already has an open case. So you can stay private. And this is I think a lot of people have shied away from trying to go against the officer's bond. That's because when you go public, it gets hard because they want you to speak in the context of every code and all that. When you write in private, man, you could just write what it is, man, plain and simple. You ain't supposed to have to know the law when you write private. And you got to know that you could write a private letter when it comes to public officers. And with that, I'm going to be out, because it was just short and sweet, talking about public money. Anything you buy from the United States, you exchange it for value. I don't care if it's the post office or the Bureau of Land Management or the courthouse. The courthouse issues something for you, and it's issued and it's signed. It's public money, and you could use that to get paid. So if you beat a case less than 5 years ago, then you could use the order of the judge to get the payment back. Because you the person, you the one that's got to deal with the secondary obligation. You not the primary. The primary is always going to be a corporate fiction that they created through the 14th Amendment. I'm not going to go as far as call it a straw man and get your language twisted. No, it's a corporate fiction, fictional character that they created to benefit the states because the states wanted to rally up. They wanted to get people to get birth certificates. That was the whole thing. Come to our state. We got the most benefits. No. Exactly. Public money that has been collected by the state, usually through taxation. Any payment you make is through a taxation. If you go pay for your mail, that is a tax. Okay, that is a certified tax. And we'll talk about tax pursue on another episode. We're not even going to call it that. We're just going to call it prepaid mail, as it says in the International Mail Manual. And there's a reason why it says prepaid mail in English, and it says all that other stuff in Old English and in French, and it's reserved for people from other places. And it's a reason for that. And it's the reason why the United States, or the Universal Postal Union, right? It's the reason why they specifically named United States of America as a member country under the Article 23 of the Constitution. Now, I'm going to challenge y'all to go find Article 23 of the Constitution for the next episode, because the Constitution is written in a certain way, and you have to understand what an article is. And that's just a little hint. So go find Article 23 in the Constitution, and that's going to tell you exactly what the states are. There's several states which the citizens of the several states are entitled to the privileges and immunities under, and what the taxations and all that stuff apply to, interest holders, and which ones apply to rent. So tap back in. We're going to learn. And as we learn, we're going to give it to you. And as we give it